Hi, Steve here. Welcome to this tutorial on the Whitaker Staking Online Cloud version. When you first open this software for the first time, you won't have these resumed active sessions down here, and I'll talk more about them a little bit later. But what you'll be presented with is start a new session. Now, I suggest that when you name the stakes, name the option, is that you give it one that you can really relate to, and also which of the three staking plans you're using. So if you're using the daily average, start it off with daily DP for daily percent, just so that you know when you go into it which program, which of the three options you're using. If you're not sure what the three options are, please read above in the Excel staking instructions, and this cloud software mimics that as close as it can, so a lot of what's above will apply to the online version. Initial bank is the bank that you're starting with, and the commission percentage. If you're not using Betfair or a betting exchange, put in 0, but whatever you put in here, it can be overridden as we go line by line placing our bets. Once you've done that, click on submit, and you'll be taken to this page here where you start choosing your options. The initial bank you've already put in, and you can't, you could change it but don't. The current bank is the bank that the series is running at the moment, and because we haven't had a bet yet, it's running at obviously the initial bank. Now the rounded bets and betting options over here, once these are defined, that's it, they can't be changed for this option. So the option that you're running right now that we're setting up. So we want to use daily percentage, and I'll talk about the upper and lower thresholds later on, but they only belong to linked total. So that's the only option that these two inputs work. So we're using daily percentage, so you can see they disappear, and we're going to be using Betfair, so we can use manual, which means we can bet odd amounts. If we were going to use the TAB or bookies of that, we'd have to use the rounded amounts. Don't worry that it says cents or dollars, it works in any currency that you are using. So we'll just put in manual. And the next move is, this is the magic that all happens that Tom's created, and I suggest you don't change these percentages here, because they've been worked through all of the 8 months of testing that Tom has done. So I would suggest leave them there unless you have a strong reason to change them. Okay, so if we click the settings button, the settings disappear from here now, and you can always bring them back by clicking it again. We don't need the settings now, and I'll just reduce the screen down so we've got it all in one here. Okay, so now we're all ready to go and start doing our betting. So obviously always put in the date, the name of the bet, and the event, of course, so that you can identify it later. Because what you can be doing, if you're doing the daily percentage here, is we can put on multiple bets without having to put in a result, of course, because we don't know the result. We might want to put all our bets on now and then go away and then come back later. Once we've put in the date, name, event and odds, click on add, and now it will give us this line up here telling us how much to stake, our calculated stake. If we were using rounded stake, it would be the rounded stake there and the amount to bet. These are all the same because we're using the exact amount. Okay, won or lost, we don't know. Maybe we don't know yet, and we just want to go on and put on some more bets, and then we can do so we put on these bets here. Okay, click add again. Now we can just say maybe put these 2 bets on in the morning and we don't want to do anything, so we can go back to home now, and we could log out, right? But say we come back a few hours later after we've been in the garden or playing golf, we can go down to click on the ones here, which is 21. This is daily percentage of Australian horses. We can see there it's got the amount. The current bank is 296, and we're losing 3.76 at the moment because we haven't filled in a result yet. If we scroll up, we might go back and check, and we see that Fife did in fact win the first race here at Randwick. So we can just put in 1. And then all we need to do is just go to another square. And now you can see there we've got our profit. And the amount that we had to bet hasn't changed, because on the daily average, the bank will not be refinalised until we put in a different date. So for example here, I'll just put in the same date again, 1st to the 8th. Add. You'll see that even though the bank here has been changing, you'll see that we're still producing the same, we're still asking for the same staked amount. Now if we go, say that lost and that lost, if it loses you don't have to put anything in, you can if you want to. But say for example we go to the next day and we put in the next day and we put in the same the same odds, you'll see that the odds will, the staking amount now will change because the bank has been changed. It won't change by much, but you can see it's gone up a little bit because the bank has gone up. The bank started yesterday at 300. It started the day at 300. It finishes at 304, and that is what the new bank now is working its percentages to. So if we go up here, we can see now the current bank is 303. So every time you change the date in the daily percentage, the bets will be calculated on the new current bank, whether it go up or go down. So that is how you use the spreadsheet for a daily percentage, and in fact all of them work on the same ones. And once you've set it, you can't change those settings. Okay. Also, what I mentioned to you, let's go back to here. This bet here, say it won, but we actually placed this bet, I know it's odd amounts there, but we actually placed this bet on the TAB, so we can, or the bookie, so we could go there. Now you can see the amount of profit was 606, but if we go there and we take out the commission, because we're not going to pay commission, you can see now that the staking amount changed because we should have changed the commission before we got the stake. So because this is trying to win a percentage of the bank in this section, because we're not allowing for commission, the amount we need to spend has come down. So if you are going to change the commission, change it, for example, or we'll just put this in here and we'll use the same. We'll put in the same bet again, same odds. Now we should put in naught here. We should put in the naught, then click add, and you'll see. Oh, hang on, I'll get this right yet. We haven't put in the. You'll see then that now it is at the 808 again, because it's still working on the right percentage, but we need to put the commission in before we click add if we're not going to be using a commission, or we're changing the commission. We need to do that because it's alright if it's under 2, because under 2 we're betting a percentage of the bank, but over the odds of 2 we are betting to win a percentage of the bank, and so that's why the commission needs, just always make sure you put the commission in first. Okay, so what happens is we've finished here, we push home, and we might want to go to one of our other bets. We might want to go to this Australian racing one here. We can click on resume, and we can see this is linked to the current total. So using that link to the current total generally means if we place the bet, we are not making another bet until such time as we know the result, because the odds, because the bank is being reassessed every time the bet is being made. So if you're going to be using link to current total, you need to know the result before you progress to the next bet. So if you want to just do multiple bets or betting 4 or 5 horses in a race, then you'll need to go and use the daily percentage or not linked to the current total. Okay, so let's have a look at how not linked to the current total works. We'll just set up a new one. We go back to home. So if we go, I'll put NC so we know not current, and I'll put so basically we've set that up the same. So we hit submit, takes us to it. So we're going to be using not linked to the current total, and we're going to be using manual. And this is where we can set our thresholds now. So if we set it at 120, so that's going to be 20% higher than the bank. So once the bank gets to 20% more, so 360, then it will change. It will change its staking to work on that new bank of 360. And with 50 here, if we have 50% here, if the bank drops to 150, then it will amend the bets. In the meantime, if the bank doesn't reach either the high or low, it will always be betting as if the bank is 300 or whatever you've got as your initial bank. Only once those thresholds are breached does the new staking plan come into attack, and it uses the not linked to current total percentages here, okay, which is slightly lower because we assume because we're assuming that the bank is something that it may not be. We just err on the side of how would we say, caution. So that's why these odds here in the not linked to current total is different, okay. But what happens is we can just bet multiple bets, whatever we want to do here, and the staking will come up, and we just bet those stakings, and then when that breach is made, either high or low, it will come into the initial bank update column. So I've just put some bets in, and you can see now we're up to 362. So we've passed our 20% increase on the bank. And now we get this notice here. The Whitaker Staking says current bank has reached our preset threshold. Do you want to update the initial bank with the current bank amount? Please note that you can't undo this once it's done. We click on OK. And now we'll see here it's telling us now that we've got a new bank, and all bets now will be calculated at this new bank level here of 362. So if we scroll up, we can see there now our initial bank. Our initial bank now has changed to 362. So all bets will be worked out from there. Okay, and the percentages have just come up again, so we'll just click on settings again to hide them, and away we go. I haven't put dates or that in here because I just wanted to put in the amounts here to show you this actually ticking over and the notice that you get. Also, what the cloud software has is we can see here our bets, and that obviously we've put this one as a losing bet still because we haven't gone here. We'll just make it a winning bet just so we had a really good run, 16 winners in a row. But here we can see now that you can see there we have the number of bets. So we've had 18 bets. Amount bet we've bet to $17 or £17. We've had 100% strike rate and overall profit of 76, and return on investment 446. We're not going to get 18 winners in a row at those prices, but that gives you an idea. And when you're finished with that, if you have Excel, you can push export data, and what it will do, gives you a download, open it, and it records all this for you so that you can, there we are, if I just it keeps it for a record for you so that you can, if you want to, keep the record, and it shows us there the date the amount's gone up. So everything is kept there in Excel if you want to. Okay, no need to, but if you want to. And when you're finished betting a sheet there, you can either clear it by clicking on clear, or you can go to home and it will retain this NC Australian Dogs. If we click home, it'll bring us back to the main menu, and you can see all the ones that we've used, and you can go back and access any one of them that you want just by clicking on resume. and we are back to where we started. Also, if I just push the settings, I just changed, if you go back to an old one, you can see here I've actually changed that one there to 50%. So if you have changed some of these settings here, they will be retained under that staking. So Stakem has 50% here. Okay, as I suggested before, don't change these unless you have a very strong reason to. So thanks for watching on the Whitaker Cloud Staking Plan. Remember that you can use this on your phone. It's set up for your phone or your tablet, so you can have it with you wherever you go. If you're using it at home on your PC and then you go out and you access it on the phone, you will still have your settings and you can continue a series that you've already started, even though you're not obviously on the computer. So on behalf of Tom and myself, Steve, thanks for watching this. Hope you have a lot of fun with the Whitaker Staking Plan, whether it be here on the online version or in the Excel spreadsheet. Thank you.